What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Burley Fishing. Today we're talking about being warm, right? So we're going to compare some different items, cheap versus expensive, that you would wear when you're out ice fishing. And hopefully I can help you out on your product search when you're trying to figure out what's right for you, right? So if this is the first time you guys have stopped by the channel, do me a favor. If you like the content, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see when I post more. I'm doing about one of these a week. So stay tuned for more good content. So today, what are we comparing? We're gonna start off with Bibs, right? Oh my God. I broke my light. Just one of those moments. Like a car crash, you're watching it in slow motion. All right, so we're gonna start out comparing two different types of bibs. Cheap, expensive, okay? We're also going to compare some coats in this video, some gloves in this video, and some hat options for you guys too. So things to keep you warm and dry and things that wick moisture. Oh, I've got like some wool underlayers too, right? So base layer stuff, we'll look at that too. So these right here is good old-fashioned car sharts. That's what I call them. They're kind of like Carhartts, but they're not because they're C.E. Schmidt, if you can see that. So we're gonna try them on. This is the first pair of bibs I ever owned. I picked them up last year because I knew I was only gonna ice fish a few days. We had kind of what I'm dealing with right now with winter, with this like really delayed ice. So I still don't have ice. Hence why I'm not fishing right now. Hopefully I can bring you some fishing content soon. Getting real sick of talking about just products. But so I picked these up kind of on a whim. This is they carry these at like Tractor Supply Co's or like farm supply type stores. So I went there and I think they were $40, maybe 30. So like dirt cheap, right? And right off the bat, I mean they feel really cheap, right? If you guys have bought Carhartts before, if you wear Carhartts, you know they are super rugged. I actually fished with a buddy that first day who wears Carhartts, religiously loves them, you know, has all the positive reviews on them. So I mean, I take his word on it that they're great. And you know, at the time, if I was really investing into it, probably would have bought a pair, but I wasn't. So we're just testing things out. So let's try these on real quick. A couple things off the bat. They were like the thickest pair that they had there, like the warmest pair, right? And they've got like this kind of decent like quilted inside. It feels like the material wouldn't really break or tear or anything like that. I wasn't too worried about it. Things I don't like are really the sort of the cheap feel of the material. The pockets are super thin, so there's no point in putting your hands in your pockets at all. If you guys have nice gear, you know it's usually like fleece aligned or something. It is a double zip, so you guys know that's important when you're out on the ice. You got to relieve yourself. If you don't want to take all your stuff off, you can just do the double zip and then pop her out and take care of business. These upper pockets are useless. They hold absolutely nothing. The straps aren't bad, actually. It's got like that nice button strap that you would get on a pair of Carhartts. Holds up pretty well. I could see that probably falling apart soon. It's got the elastic strap, so pretty comfortable to wear. What I will say is, mobility-wise, they're kind of garbage. I remember sitting on the bucket feeling like just really compressed. I had to loosen these guys up quite a bit. But I mean, other than that, like it's got the leg vents. Let's take this off and show you guys. We've got boot buttons, leg vents that go pretty far up, I think. If not, oh yeah, they go all the way. Go all the way up. There you go. So big old leg opening if you want to do that. Again, it's kind of like, it's more like a pair of pants than a pair of bibs. It's somewhat insulated. I remember wearing, I think I had base layer leggings, I had sweatpants, I had like 3 pairs of socks and this thing on, and a base layer upper layer, as well as a hoodie and a cheaper North Face jacket. I'll show you guys in a minute. And I was cold, right? It was like a long day, 8-9 hours on the ice. and the cold just started getting to me. So they didn't hold up that well. I mean, again, you get what you pay for, right? So here's what you get if you invest into this thing, right? This is the Stryker Ice Predators, right? Right off the bat, I noticed quite a few differences with this when I was checking these out at the store. So let's pop these babies on. So right off the bat, things I noticed was, to start, the material much nicer, felt a lot more rugged. We had these insulated pockets, so this like fleece lined pocket right where I would put my hand. So I mean, I stuck my hand in, it's like a freaking heater in there. This thing is super warm, feels great. The straps are elastic all the way through. The only thing that's irritating about it, I think, is that these turn sometimes, so you'll end up like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. This could be easily replaced too. Super adjustable, but just comfortable on the shoulders. The cheaper pair are like Carhartts that I've tried on. I've never really worn them for a whole day, so I can't speak too highly or speak down on them really. They always felt a little bit heavier on the shoulders. So these, when I've worn them, and I've done at the most at this point like shoveling driveways and snow throwing and stuff like that, I haven't been able to spend a whole day on the ice. They've been really comfortable, right? I do like this kind of like magnetic strap here. It's cool, so you know, I don't have to worry about buttoning this up. It just closes for me. We got the two-way zip. The zipper feels a lot more sturdy than on my cheap pair. Pockets that actually can hold, like I have the larger size iPhone, right? So it'll actually fit the whole thing in here and then some. We've got utility straps. We've got pockets that'll actually hold a crap ton of crap, like a whole tackle box will fit into these things. So I can carry a ton of gear with me across the ice if I'm stepping a little bit away from my bucket. Take this off, I'll show you some of the other features on it. Just wearing that cheap pair of bibs for a second and then wearing these for a second, like I'm sweating after putting this on. So we've got the sort of rib side is elastic. That feels great. I don't know what they do with the interior here, but it's so warm. We got some, this is a secret pocket. I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently this pocket goes all the way through. Probably just some venting option there. Cool. Didn't know that. I don't know what the deal is with material. Oh, okay. There's like fleece crotch, right? So that's gonna be super warm. But mostly what I remember, if you guys have gone ice fishing before, you know you're either kind of sitting on the bucket, you're standing, or you're actively jigging. When you're actively jigging, you could be sitting on the bucket or you could be kneeling next to a hole. If you're fighting a fish, you're probably kneeling next to a hole. You're usually not standing. So, you know, if we are kneeling, our knees are probably in water or around some moisture. That pair, the cheaper pair, got wet, right? And the other problem with that is, you know, your ice is kind of, you know, sharp, jagged at times, right? The way that it freezes, all the bits and pieces that you pull out with your auger will freeze to the ice. That can get sharp. That can cause abrasions to whatever fabric you're wearing. So what I loved about these was how freaking rugged this whole knee patch was. That's huge. It's super dense. It's a great material. I don't think I'm ever going to tear these things, which is why I invested into them. These, by the way, ran about $220 when I got them. Might have been on sale at Cabela's. So I mean, 200 plus is kind of what you're going to deal with, whether you're getting like Striker Ice, Strikemaster, Clam, you know, a bunch of different brands out there. But you know, whatever you're getting, if you're getting a better quality pair, you're in the like 150 to 250 range probably. One thing I can say is a pretty nice upgrade on this versus the cheaper pair is the little liner, right? So that goes inside of your boot. This is on the outside of your boot, preventing snow, moisture, of other, you know, water, anything like that getting into your boot. So that's nice. Got this triple button system here to keep this thing closed. There are magnetic flaps here on the legs too. So that's pretty awesome. And then we can zip this thing up all the way to the hip actually. So it goes the full length, like that's the hip right there. It goes all the way up. So quite a bit of venting available there. Another solid feature that these came with, Not that it's, you know, you can't just bring your own microfiber cloth, but it has this snap-on cloth, goes on a pocket just above the thigh. So that's kind of, when you catch a fish, you're probably going to take your gloves off. You want to hold the fish, right? So this would be just a nice, easy way to dry. And then these will dry pretty quick too, right? So dry your hands off, and then these will dry off so you can use them again. And they've got one for both of those front pockets. So yeah, all around super impressed with it. Very comfortable, very warm. I'm excited to get on the ice with it very soon. The other amazing feature I see in this that you won't get in the cheaper pairs ever is this SureFloat technology. So the idea there is that this is going to not only help you float if you fall through the ice, but it's also going to try and like flush water out, so it's a little more breathable. Water's going to flow through it rather than filling it up so that you are weighed down and you sink deeper and die. But it's a pretty cool technology. They have this technology in a lot of different coats too. I'm pretty happy with it just in the bibs at the least. I'll have my picks on me too. We're following as many safety features as we can, so should be fine. But having this is a pretty nice feature to have. So what else do you need when you're on the ice? You need some good gloves, a good hat, and you need a good base layer, right? So we don't want just a cotton t-shirt, cotton socks, you know, just regular underwear, whatever, right? Any cotton against your body is going to absorb moisture. This is where a lot of people run into trouble when they're shoveling driveways. If they're wearing just cotton layers, cheap hoodies, whatever, under their coat, they're building up sweat. That sweat sticks to their skin. You're actually cold, though you feel hot. This is where you get sick. Some people have heart attacks. You know, it's a serious problem, but you're also going to endanger yourself to frostbite if you hold that moisture to your skin. So you want something that's moisture wicking. So I definitely recommend looking into more like wool socks, moisture wicking performance wool socks, and moisture wicking base layers. So these are, it's just like a basic REI. What is it? I don't even know what it's called. Blah, blah, blah. I'm REI. So this is like basic REI Co-op smart wool-ish. You know, it's not the brand smart wool, so it doesn't cost $150. I think the pair of these together, so this is the top and bottom, which is all you really need. Like, wash it if you need to, but it breathes really well. It doesn't really retain odor or anything. So, I mean, you could wear it for a couple days if you wanted to. But I think the pair of these together was like $100, maybe. It's like 50-50, right? But yeah, these are really nice, super comfortable, really soft on the inside. Again, moisture wicking, very important. So this is what I wear as the base layer, right? So that's a thing against your skin. And then over top of that, probably wear a hoodie like this. That's really breathable, but like warm. This is wind resistant too. So if I get hot with the coat, I can just keep my bibs on and wear this under the bibs, and that's pretty good, right? Beyond the base layer, good gloves are important. So me and my buddy went ice fishing. We both had fingerless gloves, and I quickly realized, oh yeah, they get wet when like you are around all the water, because that's what happens when you're ice fishing. So that was an issue. He had a pair of Gore-Tex gloves, which was pretty awesome. So I quickly mimicked him and picked up a pair. So I tried those on. Obviously, they don't get wet. They keep water out, so you stay warm. You don't have water on your hands as it's cold during the day. If wind's blowing, you're out there for 8 hours, like your hands, your fingertips are basically gone, right? So this, we can keep warm in between catches. When you catch the fish, pop them off. You're going to be barehanded, but for a short amount of time, so not a big deal. But these stay dry all day, and I can toss them in my Yeti bucket, and I don't have to worry about them just sitting in moisture, right? So solid. Get yourself a pair of Gore-Tex gloves, usually like 50 to 70 bucks. They also have some pretty cool gloves I saw at the store we went this past weekend. They're like a neoprene, so they're thinner than Gore-Tex. They're you know, more maneuverable, so it's a little easier to, like, if you're jigging the rod. Some even have like the finger part that you can bring on. Some even have the hole in the finger and thumb, so you can expose finger and thumb, making it easier to be a little more dexterous, have a little more dexterity when you're tying knots and stuff. So those are cool. Those run like 30, 50 bucks as well. Another option. Then we have our hat. So this is a hat I'm going to be going with this year. I got my little palm, right? Mostly what I was looking for, and this is tough to find in hats, this actually was like a cheap hat. It was like 15 bucks. This is the Jason Mitchell Elite Series. I think that's Clam brand, maybe. I have no idea. It was at Cabela's on the shelf. But what I was looking for mostly, all you really need to look for is like this nice fleece lining. So it's super soft, it's comfortable, it's really warm, right? And it's a little bit moisture wicking. I'm sure we're gonna have some issues because this is cheaper, but if you can get like a nice wool hat, that would be top of the line. Best thing you can do. Those are gonna run you easily like 50 bucks, so just something to consider. Finally, the coat. Okay, so let's take a look at some coats. This is the coat I wore last year. This is just a basic North Face. Doesn't even have a whatever. They're all the same. So it's like a North Face, kind of a snowboarding, just general outdoor usage coat. The problem you're going to run into with those is that they're designed to be thinner. They're designed to be more breathable, armpit vents and whatnot, right? So there's a lot of areas where wind can come through and you get colder. Because if you're snowboarding or skiing, you know, we're moving a lot. It's a heavy activity, probably sweating a little bit. So you can deal with a lighter coat. A lot of times with ice fishing, it's not like we're running around on the ice. It's not a very aggressive sport. You spend a lot of time sitting and waiting. You might be moving hole to hole. If you have a hand auger, you're getting a little activity in, but it's not enough. I wore this for a really long day last year and I struggled. I got really, really cold, even with multiple base layers. So something to keep in mind. It's not really what they're built for. They also have zero utility, right? So ice fishing coats are built for ice fishing. They have tons of utility, lots of extra pockets, utility clips and things like that for your tools. Lots of things you can do. So this year, we're gonna roll with this Strikemaster. This is the Strikemaster Battle. Even better, I got it on sale at Cabela's for like 112 bucks. It's normally 150 bucks. And that is a technically lower end ice fishing jacket, but we're gonna roll with this year. I spent a lot of money on Bibs, so I didn't really want to like spend too much on a coat and get in trouble with my wife. That would be bad. So we're able to pick this baby up with the help of some gift cards and a sale, right? So yeah, like 112 bucks at Cabela's. Things I really like about it already, it's extremely warm. I've had a couple of sub 20 degree days recently, so I've been able to wear it around, test it out. It retains heat like crazy. The hood is able to be zipped off if you don't want to wear that. That's nice, but it is a fleece lined hood, so that's fantastic. Gonna be really warm. The material is really nice. It's waterproof, nothing to worry about. This doesn't have the float technology. I think the Strikemaster does have the exact same coat with float technology. It was like 50 bucks more. Said I got the Bibs, I got my picks, like I'll be all right. And I have a spud too, so we're gonna take all the safety precautions that we need. I'm not too worried about that, right? So I decided to just roll with this guy because it was within my budget. But we have the front pockets that'll hold a lot. They're fleece lined as well. So again, like you put technology into a fleece lined pocket, it's going to be a little bit safer than if in like a regular like pant pocket, right? You start to get moisture under the screen, potentially could freeze it, right? Things like cameras. People have a lot of issues with like GoPros when they're filming ice fishing, especially in really severely cold conditions, snowing, sleeting, you know, any situation like that, you're kind of in trouble. But that said, we can store the camera in those fleece lined pockets when not in use and keep it functioning throughout the day. Things that are more important that'll be in this pocket are going to be the battery charger and the batteries for the camera. So we're going to protect that type of gear. Inside's all fleece. Sleeves are really comfortable, and what I like is this little elastic cuff here on the end. So it fits snugly to the wrist. We're not letting water or moisture get into the sleeve. That's nice. I haven't really Jesus, found my keys. Front pockets like the bib, nice big fleece lined, and then we got utility tool clip right there. Probably my favorite thing about this, as opposed to many of the other coats, and maybe this is just a preference thing. I'm not a parka guy by any means. I don't like a super long front on the coat, but a long tail end of the coat is pretty nice. So this, let's see if we can, you know what? I'll just wear it, and then you'll see it. Yeah. It doesn't fit insanely baggy. It fits pretty good actually. And then if you can see, front side comes down just a little bit, so it's like top third of the quads there. But the back end, this little tail flap, if you can see that, comes down a long way. So that's kind of nice. If you're sitting on the bucket, you're not sitting on a cold material, right? My Yeti bucket is actually just straight flat. Might get a cushion for that, we'll see. But this gives me a little bit of cushion and coverage, so there's warmth on my bum, right? Between that and my bibs, like, we're good to go. That's the gear we're gonna use for ice fishing this year. I'm gonna be very warm. Hopefully this video helped you guys out as you're looking for the gear that you need this ice fishing season. If you're kind of in the market for coats and bibs and gloves and all that stuff, hopefully this helped guide you in the right direction of what you actually need. As always, comment below any of your thoughts on gear that you're using this year, things that you think I should check out, things that you think I should review. I'll give you guys more like in-depth reviews once we actually get this out on the hard water and really put it against the elements. So I'm excited for an opportunity to do that. Hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. We'll see. Probably going to be looking at late January and February, throughout February, that we can actually get this thing done. If you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can see when I post more videos. And we'll see you guys out there.